and welcome to the fourth day of my King Alfred's Way ride. I've only got 35 miles to go now. I should be finished probably just after lunchtime, famous last words, and I've got another puncher as well. Anyway, so since I last spoke to you, I camped out on the byway itself, bridleway rather. I remember the village, I can't remember, Orchestra or something like that. And it was dark by the time I got there, so I just got my stuff out. I thought, oh, there's a little bit of flat bit here, I'll camp there, and that's basically what I did. I hadn't been there 15 minutes, and there's a bike coming down the opposite direction to what I was travelling, and chap stops and said, oh, do you mind if I join you? So there was two of us. We were both doing the King Alfred's Way, but in opposite directions. He was doing it anti-clockwise and I'm doing it clockwise. So he had started at Oddiham and had got to there in one day, which was quite impressive. And yeah, so we had something to eat, bit of a chat, got a redstone, and then I woke up about 6ish, had some breakfast, and then left him to it. So I'm now in Till's Head, in the petrol station here, and I had some rubbish from last night, so I brought it with me and I put it in the bin here, so leave no trace and all that. Anyway, I suppose I better get on and fix this puncture again. Well, this morning's funny little thing. I bought some ladies' facial wipes to wash my legs with. They feel lovely and they smell a bit better than the sewer they did before. Although they weren't really quite up to it, so but they're better than they were. So just gone and got a puncture repair outfit from the garage, as I have well and truly run out. So I suppose really I should bring you up to speed after Stonehenge. There's nowhere there to camp, and it's probably a bit not the right thing to do anyway. So I carried on into, there's an army garrison place there, and went up to there onto the main road, rode along there about 1.75 miles, and then turn right. Anyway, I thought here we are, but there was really nothing to that was suitable, and kept going, and that's how I ended up on the bridleway, because there was just nowhere else that was MOD land, and I didn't want to get a bayonet in my backside at some point in the night. So yeah, that's how that all happened. So folks, that is a Vale of Pusey down there. I can see a white horse. In fact, I can see two. And I can see devices over there as well on the hill. I've just come along the perimeter path of the Salisbury Plain training range area, whatever it's called. It's quite breezy up here. But changed directions now. Down this rather overgrown track, dropping off and down into the valley there. I know I'll go to Avebury at some point. There you go. Somebody's been out writing. And the view up here. I have to confess, my legs have gone. Not used to multiple days. Haven't really got going today. Good thing is it's not that far now. I'm probably going to cut a corner, I think. Because I've done that bit before anyway. Avebury, I didn't stop. The place was full of headless chickens. I think they seem to forget that it's a public highway. Here we are back on the Ridgeway, full circle. As you can see, this stretch is very rutted. It's actually pretty dangerous on a bike. Yeah, so I'm going to go along here, across the top of Pen, and then I'm going to drop off the Ridgeway from there and pick up, I'm going to miss out the last sort of 1.5 hills, because I've done them before and it's just cutting the corner off and I want to catch my train. So yeah, it's a bit weird being back here now. Well, here I am, folks, up on top of the Penhill. Those trees you can just see there to the left of the picture is the top, and the road disappears off the edge. And then panning round, just to the left of this clump of trees is Rawton Airfield with its solar farm. So that means we're nearly in Swindon. Woo! Oh. The other good news is it's not as late as I thought it was, because I saw the time on a church tower, clock tower, and the time was wrong. So this is where my route is going to pair off from the official route. So there is a hill fort there. I've been up there before. You go over there, you drop down, and then you climb up another massive hill. And eventually, you just see the little pimple there. There's that mast again, just to the left of it, where I started. I'm just going to go down onto the lowlands and then across, and then back into Swindon, which is over here. Well, folks, that's King Alfred's Way over and done with. I stopped in Liddington up the road there and thought I'd have a pint. You know, do a clip to camera with a pint, and bloody pub shut. How rude. Didn't they know I was coming? Actually, they probably did, and that's why it's closed. Anyway, I'm off back into Swindon. I'll do my my summary tomorrow. A few days after finishing the King Alfred's Way, just thought I'd do a bit of a wrap up. So basically, it's fantastic. Honestly, if like me, you've spent the last couple of years thinking, shall I do it? Honestly, go out and do it. It is really good. I'm definitely going to do it again. I would say, just be wary of the weather, not just from when you do it, but like for the few weeks before, because I think a few places it does get a bit boggy, a bit muddy. But other than that, I think if you don't mind a bit of mud, you can probably do it year round, to be honest. Most of it sort of these are gravel tracks, a few fields, and a bit of single track through the woods and that kind of thing. And it's ideal to do it right year round. I think probably the best time to do it is after a dry period in the spring, before it gets a bit too overgrown. There was a few paths that were pretty overgrown, and I had my dangle mug on me pocket on the side of the saddlebag, and it was like a cowbell because it was just getting ding 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 from branches and things on the side of the path. So in terms of bike, I would say you probably get away with a touring bike that accepts quite wide tyres. I think that's the takeaway, is the wider the tyre the better, really, because there are some quite bumpy sections within the route. I mean, it's 220 miles, so the terrain is going to be different over that sort of distance. So as I said in the original video, I use 700 by 45C tyres with a bit of a knobble to it. As you saw, I had a bit of a problem with the front one, and I changed it to one I bought from that bike shop in Farnham, Hoops Velo, I think they record, so thanks to them again. And that was a 700 by 40C with a bit of a knobble to it, and that was fine. I didn't have any problems with the back wheel at all, or the back tyre rather. Yeah, so wide tyres and low gears, there are some quite steep gradients with loose surface. So I did quite a lot of walking, because not because I couldn't get right up it, physically right up it, it was because the surface was quite loose, you know, quite gravelly, which would suggest probably extremely knobbly tyres on a mountain bike would be best. But over 220 miles, you're gonna have to compromise somewhere along the lines, and you know, I think, yeah, I chose well, I haven't got a mountain bike at the moment. My gravel bike, perfect, just except the fact that you're going to be walking here and there, you know, and the rest of the time, you know, it's horses for courses, really. Run what you brung and all that. So yeah, honestly, it's really good. Have a go at it if you get a chance. I camped. No problem. I think if I do it again, I'll do it in a tent rather than a bivvy bag. That's just my personal preference. And that was just down to the dew. It got quite damp, and you know, you wake up and everything's damp, your clothes is damp, and putting on wet clothes wasn't particularly nice. But yeah, honestly, well worth it. I absolutely loved it. I think I'd said that several times in the video itself. I'm definitely going to do it again. I think I'd like to do it in company, maybe take a couple of days extra and do it in B&Bs and have pub lunches and that kind of thing, because I just kept on the route, really. That's something else I would suggest, is that there are sections where there are quite long bits where there's no water, nowhere to get any food, so stock up and just you know, use it as and when. But thank you very much for joining me on this this mini series. I'm definitely going to do some more. I'm going to do some more bike packing next year, and I'm certainly going to invite you guys along. So thank you very much. See you on the next video.